The Travel Transformation Podcast is proud to be partnered with Give the Goodness Global, an amazing global outreach project helping families in need all over Southeast Asia and beyond. Please check them out at Instagram.com/Give the Goodness Global today. And now on to the podcast episode.
Welcome to the Travel Transformation Podcast, the podcast that explores the life-changing potential of solo travel, intentional travel, and location-independent working. Whether you're an aspiring digital nomad or simply want to boost your confidence through epic travel experiences, I'm here to motivate and inspire you to go after all your wildest dreams. I'm Jessica Grace Coleman, author, travel transformation coach, founder of Flip the Script Travel Transformation Services, and your host for the Travel Transformation Podcast. Travel changed my life. Now let's change yours. You ready? Let's go. Welcome to the Travel Transformation Podcast, the podcast where we talk all things travel and all things transformation. I'm your host, Jessica Grace Coleman, or you can call me Jess. This is going to be a quick solo episode about my pop-up spin-off trip that I took after my month in the co-living villa in the Basque Country. I did 2 episodes before this on my Basque Country co-living roundup. And I wanted to do this as a separate one because it was, a separate experience, even though it had a lot of the same people in it. I made notes on Google Keep as I went along the week. I just want to share what it's like. So this wasn't part of the pop-up experience. It was something we did afterwards separately. We were doing a lot more sort of traveling and hanging out. I was still working most days, so it's a lot to juggle. But I had a really great time, absolutely knackered by the end of it. I'm in Switzerland now recording this 2 days after leaving San Sebastian. And I feel like I could sleep, honestly, but I have a lot of work to do, so I can't. But yeah, I wanted to give you an idea of what it's like to travel and work when you're not living in a co-living place. Yeah, let's get to my notes. Okay, so the end of my Basque Country co-living pop-up roundup episode, I said that on Saturday, the 27th of May, we left the villa. I caught a bus to Bilbao with my friend Diana, who I was meant to go with anyway, for 2 days before going to San Sebastian, but we'd somehow managed to pick up most of our housemates along the way. So there was me, Diana, Kinga, who is from Poland, Caitlin, who's from New Jersey, Sabi, who's from Romania, but I believe lives in Germany, Minu, who's from the Netherlands, but travels around a lot, and Isa, who's from Brazil, also travels around a lot. We got the coach to Bilbao. Dan, Diana, Tox, and Choco left in a taxi to the same place, but Choco had a flight. She's from Paris but lives in Lisbon. Had a flight back to Lisbon, so I didn't see her after she left. Stan was meeting up with friends. Stan's from Slovakia but lives in Spain a lot. Diana is my friend from Canada. Tox is the Brit who is from London but lives in Edinburgh. So we all headed to Bilbao, which is, I think the bus took about an hour and a half. I think in a car about 50 minutes, something like that. And we took the metro and then walked to our Airbnb in the heat. It was about 30 degrees. It was very hot, very gross. So the Airbnb was me, Diana, Kinga, Caitlin, Sabi, and Diana. Minu and Tox were staying in hostels nearby. Stan was staying in a hotel. He had friends to meet, but we met up with him later. The Airbnb was lovely. It was nicely decorated, but it was in a bit of a dodgy neighborhood. Weird vibe about it, and we didn't have any hot water the whole time we were there, so I wouldn't recommend the Airbnb, otherwise I would have put it in the show notes, but it was a nice place to stay. I shared a room with Caitlin. We had our own bathroom. After hanging out in the Airbnb for a bit, we left to go to the Nueva Plaza, which is where I met Kiana, the first housemate I met this year, 4 weeks previously, which felt like 2 years before. Like I say, time goes very strangely with these things. We had pintxos and drinks. So the plaza is this really nice, big, and it has pintxo bars all around the outside and drinks. In the middle, there's just like a big square where a lot of kids play football and people hang out. It's a hot spot for like hen do's and stag parties, bachelor and bachelorette parties. We saw a lot of that, but it was very hot. We then went a walk up loads of stairs, which Sabi made us go up, and we were like, no, the whole time because it was really hot, but it was worth it because we got up and had a lovely view over Bilbao. We lay down on the grass for a bit and just chilled. And then we got someone to take our group photo, and then we split into 2 groups. Those who wanted more pintxos and drinks and an early-ish night. I was in that group after being very, very tired after the pop-up. And those who wanted to go back to the Airbnb, shower, get ready, and go out to the discoteca. I did not want to go to the discoteca. I was very tired. So we went back to the plaza, had another drink and some food. We just hung out in the square, people watching as it got darker, all the lights came on. There were loads of kids playing football. One girl was TikToking. She was about 8. And there was this one tiny little kid who was trying to walk. Well, his dad was trying to get him to walk. He was sort of crawling everywhere in a bizarre sort of comedy fashion and occasionally giving the old walking a go and then giving up and crawling again. But yeah, sometimes it's just nice to people watch, hang out with your friends. I think we were drinking beer. And yeah, eventually we left. We walked along the river, which was very nice at night. We found a nice cool bridge, which was lit up, which would come to have a big part in our weekend. Little did we know it then. Then we went to look at the Guggenheim at night, which was quite cool, but not as lit up as cool as I thought it would be. But we found a cafe next to it that had some live music. It was outside, very nice. We stopped I had a soft drink, the others had a drink, and then headed back to the hostel to go to bed. The others had just left to go out. And they didn't get back to about 3 or 4. But yeah, like I said, I needed early nights. I needed sleep. That is just what I needed. So Sunday 28th, got up, had a freezing cold shower. I'd also had a freezing cold shower the night before after feeling gross all day, walking around in the heat. We did try and get the water situation fixed, and they did fix it for like half an hour, and then it died again. So we just gave up. Anyway, we hung out in the Airbnb for a bit. I did some bits and bobs on my laptop, like a bit of admin, emails. Yeah, even work on a Sunday, well, on holiday, digital nomad life. We went to a nearby bakery for breakfast and sat outside. And then we went to the Guggenheim. So I'd been there before with Kiana, right when I'd got to Bilbao. I'd also been there the year before. But there were different exhibitions and I hadn't seen all of it when I went with Kiana. So we went round. A lot of us went there, but we sort of split off and did our own thing. And I saw everything this time. So great exhibitions. Then we met outside with Deanna and Stan. Then more pintxos and drinks. Then we went back to the plaza for more pintxos and drinks. We then went back to the Airbnb to sit down for a bit before heading back to the Guggenheim, where we went to the same cafe as the night before with live music. But we got there, it was like soft jazz and it was really cool. They sort of play outside and they have like a little setting with like a little lamp, like a living room setting. But we got there just before they finished, sadly. So we had like a drink again. I think I was on the soft drinks by then. Then we walked along the river next to the Guggenheim. Isa loves music. She's obsessed with music. Wherever she goes, she plays music. She bought this little mini speaker in Bilbao. So she was carrying that and we were listening to music. So we were sort of dancing along in the streets to Harry Styles, because we were very cool. And then it went into a mix of 90s and noughties pop music. There were some statues along the road and I took a video with my friends sort of dancing and hanging off the ropes that formed this statue. So I was basically sober at this point, but we all had a lovely street dance party. Then we came up on the bridge, the really cool bridge that was lit up from before, and we were just going to walk across it, but then we just started dancing on the bridge. I think the song was Flowers by Miley Cyrus, and I recorded it because it looked like we were recording a music video because the bridge was very cool, lit up. It looked like one of those 90s music video backdrops, basically. As we were there, poor Stan, who was with us, he was not into it. He just stood at the side looking at his phone. He was all dressed in black, so he kind of looked like our bouncer, which was kind of good actually because there were a lot of guys walking past. We were just drunk looking girls dancing, so it was good. It was good to have a bouncer or a bodyguard. And yeah, we were dancing to Flowers and these 3 girls came up and joined in with us basically. They were dancing too, having a lovely time, and they said thanks and walked off. And we just carried on. We were listening to like Barbie Girl by Aqua, Spice Girls, of course, any like 90s, noughties pop you can think of, Gwen Stefani, just like lots of amazing women like Lizzo. The best bit was when people walked past and would join in for like a chorus and then leave again. There was one couple, like middle-aged couple who walked past and the wife joined in with us and the husband was like very amused at this and recorded it on his phone, and I think we were on quite a few people's phones. We were walking past. It was about midnight at this point, and there were lots of people walking around either to the discoteca, back from the pubs. We just had a great time. It was very impromptu, very spontaneous. Then we also decided to come up with our own choreography, of course. So each of us came up with a dance move. We put it in order and we learnt it. So now if we see each other in a different co-living or anywhere around the world, we can do our own secret dance because we're just that cool. It was such a great night. One of those things where you don't plan for something to happen. No one was particularly drunk. We were just dancing, having a good time. Other people started joining in and yeah, we were there for like an hour. It was great.
Are you ready for adventure? Are you ready to become location independent? Are you ready to create your ultimate dream lifestyle? Then I have just the thing for you. The Flip the Script Academy with me, Jessica Grace Coleman. My online academy, which is bursting with life-changing courses and resources, is for anyone who feels stuck in life, wants to make a change, would like more meaning and purpose in their life, wants to shake things up, especially after the pandemic, wants to start or grow a business or side hustle they can run from the road, wants to incorporate travel into their lives in all kinds of different ways, or is simply ready for an epic transformation. For more info, just head to traveltransformationcoach.com/academy. And now, back to the Travel Transformation Podcast.
And then, we went home, carried on sort of walking along the streets, dancing, singing, and went to bed. Sadly, Caitlin had to leave for her flight at 4:30, so I said bye to her before I went to sleep. Sad to say bye, but hopefully I'll see her again soon. So Monday 29th, I got up, very tired, had another cold shower, packed, and then left the Airbnb. Went to a nearby cafe for breakfast, and then the others left for the airport. Sabi went to fly home. The others went to get a car. So Issa was renting a car. She was giving some people a lift. I decided to get the bus because I had a giant suitcase. I wanted to get to San Sebastian early, get to the hotel, have a shower, sort myself out. The bus was really busy, but it was a great journey. The scenery was beautiful. I think it was 10, 12 euros. And then it was only a 4-minute walk to the hotel, or the pension, Euromeo we were staying at in San Sebastian. About a 10-minute walk from the old town, so perfect location. And I was able to check in straight away, which was great. I showered, was so grateful to have some hot water, sorted some stuff out, then did some work. Then I went out, I walked to the old town, I looked at the sea for a bit, on the coast, the Bay of Biscay, beautiful. Old town's lovely, I remembered it from last year, we went for a day trip. Lots of pintxos and drinks places, and I found quite a few veggie pintxos, which I could not find in Guernica in that area, so that was nice. Saw lots of dogs, that's nice. There's lots of cider houses, or cedar houses. I said that in a weird accent, sorry. Like I say, the old town's beautiful, the beaches are beautiful, the lookout over the water's amazing. Then Diana arrived, Lisa had dropped her off, I was sharing a room with her. So I headed back to the hotel, the guest house. She had some work calls, I sorted out some stuff on social media, like pictures and things, and did some more work. Then we went out to a Japanese restaurant, which is a 5-minute walk from the house. We had food and talked and laughed a lot. Spanish time, we weren't eating till 11 or 12. So I didn't get to sleep until about 1:30. But that was because we came back and carried on talking and laughing. Even though we were both absolutely knackered and needed sleep, went to bed about 1:30. So the next day I got up not early, got ready slowly. Then after asking the guy who worked at the guest house where we could work, we headed to a place which was a kind of bar and grill. It had Wi-Fi, it had a lovely place to sit outside next to a cathedral, very leafy. That's what I love about San Sebastian. All the streets are quite wide. They're very leafy, tree-lined streets, very clean. It's a very affluent place. Beautiful buildings. The old town's great, like I said. It's just got a really nice vibe to it. It's obviously very touristy, but it doesn't feel too touristy. None of it feels unsafe. I was walking around at night on my own. I mean, not a lot, but sometimes I had to, and did not feel unsafe at all. Maybe I just didn't go to the dodgy bits. I don't know. But the main bits we were staying in was just really, really nice. My friend Deanna wants to move there. It's her job to buy a house there, and she's given herself 7 years to do it, and I think she can do it. So she was sort of manifesting her dream house while we were there. And I said, you need to give details to this kind of thing. She said she wanted a lovely white horse on a ranch. It's a house in San Sebastian and then a place in France. And on that ranch, she would have lots of dogs and a horse. And I said, well, what's the horse's name? We've got to give it a name. She said, Whitney. I said, Whitney Horston. Amazing, terrible puns. Yep. Anyway, it's just a really lovely place. Sitting next to a church cathedral thing. There were lots of tiny birds who kept trying to steal our food, but they were really cute. Manu joined us. She had decided to stay in San Sebastian until the Thursday. We had orange juice in wine glasses, pastries, pintxos, a cup of tea. There was the cutest dog ever, sitting on his owner's lap like a little cockapoo teddy bear thing. Tiny puppy. We just stayed there and did some work for several hours. Then we went in search of a decent pintxo bar before Manu had to leave. She had a meeting, and then she was walking a lot of the Camino when we were there, but in little bits, so she wanted to go and do that. We ended up at a poke bowl place because we couldn't find any veggie options nearby. Lots of places in the old town though. We then went back to the hotel. It had been cleaned, and I said, the cleaners have been. And Deanna thought I said, clean as a bean, and she thinks that's what we say in England. She loves English, British slang, and loves saying bloody hell and blimey and pissed off mate and all the British stuff. We started saying clean as a bean for everything. Anyway, I then needed to do some laundry, so I had a lot of laundry, and Deanna had a bit as well, but she had some calls, so I found a place about 9 minutes walk away. So I put my laundry bag over my shoulder, like a big swag bag, sack or something. I headed over there. It was a really good, cute little place, actually. Washed and dried all my clothes. Love having clean clothes when you're travelling. Came back and sorted them out, then got on with some work and bits and pieces until 9 p.m. when Deanna was finished with work calls. She is from Canada. She lives in Vancouver, so she was working in her usual time zone, which meant she usually works at night. We then headed towards the old town. Deanna had to go on another work call as we walked, digital nomad life. And we went to look out over the water as the sun was setting. It was such a nice sunset, so beautiful. Manu joined us and we hung out for a bit before heading to a pintxo bar where they had lots of veggie options. And when I say veggie options, it's usually either grilled peppers, they love their peppers there, or potato and cheese. And everything comes with bread as well. So all the carbs, all the unhealthy stuff, but it was tasty. Then we headed back. Manu was staying in a hostel like 1 block away from us, so that was nice. And went to bed. Then Wednesday, 31st of May, got up late, like after 10. We needed the sleep. Got ready. Deanna left before me. Then I joined her at Starbucks. We sat outside and worked. It was next to a main road, but it's on a nice leafy street. I had a lot of tea while I got stuff done. Then we went in search of lunch and ended up eating outside in this rather posh restaurant with a view of the beach and the bay. I had a goat's cheese salad and we both had a sangria. It was very nice. We went back to the hotel. Deanna needed a nap after the sangria. And I wanted to go to the funicular, which is like the little train up the side of the hill, which goes to a really nice lookout point. So I went there myself. It took me about half an hour to walk to the funicular. And then you go to the top of Mount Igueldo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. As I said, the view's amazing. This old couple took some photos for me. There was a bar there, so I got another sangria. And this one was very watered down though, wasn't too bad. And I just sat there on my own for a while, looking at the view and listening to music on my headphones. It was just really nice. I just needed to chill for a bit, be on my own. Gorgeous view, sangria, very nice. Then we headed back down, walked back to the hotel and did some work, as did Deanna. We then went out to the sushi place, the Japanese place, for food again, around 10:30, 11 p.m. Spanish time, of course. I had veggie rice, very good. Then we came back and went to bed, and both of us were feeling a little tired and a little bit coldy. Again, probably doing too much and staying up too late. Thursday, 1st of June, didn't get up until like 10:15, again needed it. Did some podcast work, got ready, and then we went to meet Manu at the bus stop because we were getting a bus. About 30 minutes out of San Sebastian to this cute little town. I forget what it's called now, but we wanted to go to this restaurant which had a sort of like rating which was like equivalent of a Michelin star. Had a great view. It was right on the water. A lovely view out over the bay. There was a dog on a nearby balcony. We had a 3-course meal, white asparagus tips for starters. Then I had mushroom pasta, they had fish. And then I had carb sorbet for dessert. We also got bread and some wine, and it was about €30. And it was really top quality stuff, so that was pretty nice. We then got the bus back, and we said bye to Manu on the bus, who had to leave and catch a train, very sad. And then went back to San Sebastian. We went in a few shops, and then headed back to the hotel room because we were having a Zoom with our friends Sunny and Sarah, who we met in Javier last year, and then the 4 of us went to Devon for a week last summer. So it was really nice to see them. Sunny is coming to visit Switzerland while I'm here, so it'll be nice to see her in person as well. And I saw Sarah briefly in Lichfield before I came away to Spain, so it was nice to see her as well. And then Deanna, obviously, I've seen for 3 weeks. The 4 of us have been meeting up quite a bit. We then did some work in the hotel room before heading out for dinner. We went to the waterfront first, again, to watch the sunset, though it wasn't as sunsetty as last time, and we hung around there for a bit. And then went to get pintxos at a bar that I went to on my first night there when I was waiting for Deanna. Had some good veggie options. Then we went to get cheesecake. I went to this place last year and we had learnt the very important phrase, Donde está el mejor tarta de queso? Where is the best cheesecake? It's called Lavinia, or Lavinia, I think. We got there just before it closed. The shutters of doom came down again when we were there. This is what happened last time, and our friends had to literally roll under the shutters like Indiana Jones style to get the last slices of cheesecake before they closed. We shared a slice and it was amazing. It's just so creamy, so nice, and they give you quite a good slice so you can share it with 2 people. Then we headed back to the room and went to bed. Friday, 2nd of June was our last full day. Didn't get up until after 11, so this is showing you how much sleep we actually needed. It was a really nice sunny day, so Deanna got up, opened the curtains, and was so excited for a beach day. She'd been wanting one the whole time we were there, but the weather hadn't been quite nice enough. So she got ready, went straight to the beach. Went to have breakfast at the place near the cathedral that I'd worked at before. I looked in a couple of shops and then joined Deanna on the beach. It was hot and I do not do well in the heat. I do not do well on the beach. But there was a breeze and it was really lovely view out over the sea. I had a bit of a paddle. We had taken some wine, some Chacoli, local Basque wine from the villa, and we drank it out of plastic cups sitting on the beach. Very classy. We were listening to music the whole time. And then Shania Twain's Man, I Feel Like a Woman came on. And Deanna stood up and started dancing. And I joined her. While we were doing this, this random toddler came up to us out of nowhere and just stared at us as we were dancing, which is quite funny. But yeah, it was just one of those moments, like impromptu dancing on the beach in the sun to Shania Twain with some wine, some warm white wine in a glass. It was just a really nice moment. I then acted as Deanna's Instagram husband, taking pictures of her for Instagram, did a little mini photo shoot in the water, and then we just chilled for a while. And then that was like the extent of my beach time. I cannot stay there for long, but I was there for a few hours. Deanna stayed on the beach to read and chill out, and I went back to the room, showered, listened to some podcasts, sorted out my stuff because I was leaving early in the morning to go to the airport. Then I met with Deanna again We had an empanada, did some shopping, then came back to the hotel to chill for a bit before going out again. We went to get El Mejor Tarta de Queso again before it closed, just as good as the night before. And then went to a bar and ordered patatas bravas and grilled sweet peppers, which we shared, and it was way too much food for both of us. So we took it to go, then went back to the hotel, and where I packed. I set my alarm for 5:30 for the next morning, and I went to bed ready for a full-on travel day to Zurich the next day. And that's where I am now. Well, I'm not actually in Zurich, I'm in a place about a 20-minute drive from there. But I made it after a whole day of travelling via Madrid, a 6-hour layover in Madrid, from tiny San Sebastian airport to huge Madrid airport. I was very tired, and most of the day yesterday just watching Netflix and chilling. Today I've done some work. I did a little walk around the neighbourhood. I went to Lidl to get some food, and I've just been chilling a bit, ready for tomorrow where I will start my full work week. And I've got a lot of work to do over the next month, but I hope to spend some time enjoying the area, enjoying nature, going to Zurich, maybe some day trips somewhere else in Switzerland. I had a great time in the co-living. I had a great time the week after and the spin-off. But I'm kind of glad to have a couple of days to myself and to chill out and to hang out with a cat. He just lie down on my foot. He's really cute. I'm not the kind of person who can go from co-living to co-living. Lots of people can. I can't. I get too burnt out, too drained. So I'm currently in work mode and relax mode and kind of hermit mode, which I need for a bit. So yeah, that was my spin-off. It was sad saying bye to people from the house, but it was easier doing it in bits. So we said bye to Doty a few days before everyone else left. We said bye to Fer and Liz when we left the house. I said bye to Choco then too, because she was going to the airport. Then we went to Bilbao for a couple of days. Said bye to most of the people there. Then headed to San Sebastian, spent time with Diana and Manu, then said bye to Manu, then said bye to Diana, and then it was just me. So it is sad saying bye to everyone, but like I said, doing it in stages helps. And I'm ready to just chill out for a bit on my own. And I'm looking forward to seeing my friend Sunny when she visits Switzerland as well. So that's it. I just wanted to give you a bit of an idea about what I've been doing recently and how it works when you're traveling and working remotely. And yeah, if you have any questions, DM me on Instagram at Travel Transformation Coach or email me at info@traveltransformationcoach.com. That's it for now. Thanks again for listening. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Travel Transformation Podcast with me, Jessica Grace Coleman. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review, and spread the word if you have friends or family who also want to transform through travel. For a chance of winning one of my books in ebook form, please review this podcast on Apple Podcasts and send a screenshot or just your name to info@traveltransformationcoach.com or at traveltransformationcoach on Instagram. I'll be picking a new winner each month, and you can choose between any of my non-fiction titles, including Write Your Life, Write Your Year, and Intentional Travel Transformation. You can find out more about me at traveltransformationcoach.com, where you can also get your free travel transformation guide. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.